Hey Arnold, Summer Love by Craig Bartlett and Maggie Groening. Chapter 1. Finally! Arnold smiled as he walked out the front door of PS 118. Vacation at last. I love it, Gerald agreed. A whole entire summer away from homework, teachers, and... Watch your back, out of my way. Helga plowed through the door behind them and crashed right into Arnold. They tumbled down the steps and lay sprawled at the bottom in a tangle of arms and legs. Nice going, football head. Hey, you're the one who knocked me down, Helga. Yeah, well that's because I'm trapped in school every day with a bunch of losers. And when vacation finally comes, I want to get out of here as fast as I can. Got it, loser? Helga, what are you so mad about? Arnold said. I'll tell you what I'm glad about, monkey face. This first week of summer vacation is going to be the best ever because I'll be far away from you. Scowling furiously, she stomped off. But as soon as she got around the corner, Helga ducked into a secluded doorway and pulled out her hidden locket. She gazed lovingly at the class picture of Arnold glued inside. Oh, Arnold, she whispered. How cruel I am each and every time I see you. How brutally I lash out, stupidly widening our already gigantic rift. She sighed ruefully. And now, my love, now I must spend an entire week of our summer apart from you, doomed to obsessively relive my most regrettable behavior the whole time. Helga peeked furtively around the corner. Arnold and Gerald were coming. She shrank further back into the doorway so they wouldn't notice. Man, Arnold, Gerald said as they passed. That Helga G. Pataki is one person I will not miss. Ever. I agree, Gerald. I definitely agree, Arnold said. The next morning, Grandpa's Packard was filled to bursting as it roared out of town. Grandma and Arnold were crammed in the front seat with Grandpa, and all the boarders were squished together in the back. Boy, Grandpa, this is going to be great, Arnold said. I can't wait to get to the beach. Ah, my beloved beach, Grandpa sighed happily. I had such fun there as a young boy, romping around the dunes, eating snails and seaweed, making a skirt out of shells and dancing for the visiting sailors. The beach has a magical, romantic quality. Romantic, huh? Susie Kokoschka said hopefully. She nudged Oscar. Eh? Oscar shrugged. I just want to find a treasure chest buried in the sand. Buried treasure? Ha! Ernie snorted. What an imbecile. Everyone knows the beach is a place for passion. He reached over the front seat to slap Arnold on the shoulder. Hey Arnold, maybe this beach vacation will be good to you. Romantically speaking, you know. I'm just planning to hang out and have fun, Mr. Potts, Arnold said uncomfortably. I'm not really looking to make any new friends. I don't blame you, short man, Grandpa said. Heck, I don't even want to see the people I already know. He glanced in the rearview mirror at the back seat. Got that? At the same moment on the same highway, Helga was sprawled in the back seat of her parents' Lincoln, watching her portable TV and trying to ignore the conversation in the front. This is going to be great, Miriam, Big Bob yelled. A whole entire week of hanging out at the beach. But I just really hate the beach so much, Miriam protested weakly. The sun and the sand and the water and all those loud, happy people. Well, get over it, Miriam, 'cause that's where we're going. Suddenly, the theme music for Helga's favorite show, Babe Watch, started, and Helga stared intently at her little TV. Watching the swimsuit-clad actors running on the sand, she slipped into her favorite daydream. Helga and Arnold, bodacious and buff, running along the sand and smiling dreamingly at one another. Chapter 2. The rental beach house was a gray, shingled duplex, a little weathered but cozy. Within minutes of their arrival, the boarding house gang were ready for vacation to start. Grandpa unpacked his fishing gear. Grandma waxed her surfboard. Susie pulled out the first of her stack of romance novels and found a comfy chair on the porch. Arnold, Ernie, Mr. Hewen, and Oscar emerged from the house dressed in shorts and sunglasses. "Well, we're off to mingle," Ernie announced. "Yes, to meet big, beautiful ladies," agreed Mr. Hewen as he and Ernie trotted down the path towards town. Susie called from the porch. "So you're going to town too, Oscar, and leaving me here all alone?" "Okay, sounds good to me," Oscar said, and he sprinted to catch up with Ernie and Mr. Hewen. Arnold looked around and noticed a pail and shovel in a corner of the porch. He picked them up. "Okay, I guess I'll make sandcastles." He walked down to the beach, breathed the fresh sea air, and smiled contentedly. Arnold scanned the beach looking for the right spot to start his castle, then shrugged and dropped the bucket where he was standing. As he began digging, a car pulled up to the other side of the duplex. The driver's side door opened. "We're here," Big Bob Pataki bellowed. Miriam woke up and looked out the window blearily. "Huh? Where am I?" Helga squinted at the beach house from her window. "Oh man, what a dump." She climbed out the car, glanced at the ocean, and sighed. "This is going to be the worst week of my entire life." Bob, Miriam, and a skanky old shack hours away from Arnold. "Helga?" Arnold said. "What are you doing here?" Chapter 3. Helga spun around. Arnold was right behind her. "Arnold?" she squeaked, then quickly snapped back to her usual Helga self. "I mean, what do you mean, what am I doing here? What are you doing here, football head?" "My grandpa brought us here for the week." Arnold stared at Helga in amazement. "Wow, talk about a coincidence. I mean, what are the odds that we'll wind up at the same exact beach house?" Helga snorted. "Yeah, well, don't get any ideas about being all chummy with me, hair boy. I mean, just because we're staying in the same duplex doesn't mean we're suddenly friends or anything. As a matter of fact, I still hate your stinking guts, so you better just stay the heck out of my way. Got it?" She wheeled around and stomped into the house. "Fine with me, Helga," Arnold said as he turned back to his sandcastle. Once inside the beach house, Helga dashed up to her room and peeked out at Arnold from the curtained window. "What is the matter with me?" she wailed. "Why do I always have to be such a jerk to Arnold? I mean, here I am alone at the beach with the guy, and what do? I barrage him with insults and push him away." She put her hands in her face. "Man, talk about an idiot. This is my big chance, and I'm totally blowing it." She yanked the curtains open. Down on the beach, Arnold was peacefully working on his sandcastle. "That's it," muttered Helga fiercely. "I'm through being a psychotic freak. From now on, I'm going to be nice. The last word came out in a hiss. This is going to be the best vacation of my life, and nothing or nobody is going to stand in my way. The surf rumbled in the distance as Arnold dug contentedly in the sand. Suddenly, a shadow fell over him. "That is a fantastic sandcastle," somebody said. Arnold turned to see a girl, maybe 11 or 12 years old. Her long blonde hair was backlit by the sun. She wore shorts and a tank top and smiled sweetly down at him. Arnold just stared back. The girl was so perfect and so lovely. "Thanks," he finally mumbled. "My name's Summer. What's yours?" "Arnold." "Well, Arnold, you must be a great artist because that's the best sandcastle I've ever seen." "Really?" Arnold said, looking at it doubtfully. "Yes, really. In fact, I bet you'll be a shoo-in at the sandcastle competition at the beach festival this weekend." "A sandcastle competition? I didn't know there was one." At that moment, Helga came out of the beach house, still muttering to herself. "Now, remember, Helga, just stick to the plan." She looked up and her eyes bugged out. There was Arnold, talking to an annoyingly beautiful girl. Helga jumped back into the shadow of the porch to watch. "Well, you should really think about it, Arnold," Summer was saying, "because you do awesome things with sand." She reached over and gently touched his hair. "And in the meantime, you can show me around the beach, since I'm new around here." "Actually," Arnold said, "I've never been here before either. I'm just here for the week." "Perfect!" Summer smiled her perfect smile at him. "We can explore together then." "You do awesome things with sand?" Helga hissed. "Criminy, what the heck is going on here? I'm gone for 2 lousy minutes, and all of a sudden this bimbo is moving on my territory?" She glowered, hands over hips. "Well, Arnold is going to be mine this vacation. Just let her try and explore with him. I'll make her so miserable she'll wish she had never set foot on this beach." Chapter 4. Oscar, Ernie, and Mr. Human strolled along the boardwalk ready for vacation. A sign outside a t-shirt shop instantly caught Oscar's eye. "Want to find coins, jewelry, and other valuables on the beach?" Oscar slowly read out loud. "Rent a metal detector for only $9.99. As if on cue, the alert shop owner came out holding a metal detector out to Oscar. "That's right, sir. Only $9.99, and you get to keep everything it finds." Oscar seized the metal detector. "I get to keep everything it finds? It's a deal." He pointed to Ernie. "That man over there will give you the money." Oscar scurried off in the direction of the beach before Ernie realized what had happened. The detector was successful beyond Oscar's wildest dreams. Within minutes, he discovered astonishing amounts of treasure tucked in the belongings of rows of napping sunbathers. As he walked along, the detector ticked as it uncovered watches, bracelets, rings, and loose change. "This metal detector works great," Oscar chuckled as he stuffed his pockets. "It finds so many hidden valuables." Meanwhile, not far away, Mr. Human and Ernie had dug a deep hole in the sand. When it was 4 feet deep, Ernie jumped into it. "Will this work?" Mr. Human asked. "Positive, Huinsky." When women see a guy buried up to his head in the sand, they come over, and that's when you start chatting him up and turning on the charm. "I know. That's how my father met my mother. Now bury me." Mr. Human began pushing sand back into the hole, burying Ernie up to his neck. Then he stood back and admired the effect. "Ooh, this is a great photo opportunity. I want to get my camera. I will be right back." "All right, but make it snappy," Ernie called after him, then turning to a passerby, yelled out, "Good afternoon, miss. You're looking lovely." The girl looked down at Ernie's head in the sand and stepped back in shock. "Ew," she said, and quickly walked away. Ernie tried the same line a few more times with other ladies as they passed by, but didn't have better luck. Eventually, he grew bored and discouraged. Where the heck is Hewin? How long does it take to find a camera? Ernie struggled to get out of the sand, but couldn't budge. He craned his neck as much as he could and called a little louder. "Hey, anyone? I'm buried up to my neck here. A little help?" Suddenly, 3 tough-looking kids loomed over him. "Hey, ugly dude," said one. "We'll help." He picked up a nearby pail and set it over Ernie's head. "Wait, no!" Ernie's voice was muffled by the pail. The kids laughed and wandered off down the beach. When Mr. Hewin finally returned with his camera, Ernie was nowhere to be seen. He looked all around, scratching his head. "I thought I left him right here," he said, then continued down the beach, anxiously searching. He didn't hear the voice that had called faintly nearby. "Hewin, is that you? I'm under the bucket. Help!" Chapter 5. Later that afternoon, Arnold and Summer went floating on a rubber raft. There's just something so relaxing about the ocean, don't you think, Arnold?" Summer said dreamily. Behind them, a few yards away, Helga slowly surfaced, wearing a mask and snorkel. "Oh, I wouldn't get too relaxed if I were you, honey," she said softly. Helga took a deep breath, then ducked under the water to fire a dart at the raft with a blowgun. There was a loud pop, and the raft began to deflate quickly. Arnold and Summer splashed frantically and scrambled to shore, their peaceful idol destroyed. Helga chuckled to herself. "Perfect," she said. But Summer and Arnold didn't let that spoil their day. They dried off and headed to lunch at a beachside restaurant and ordered the lobster special. Helga wasn't going to have her day spoiled either. She ducked into the restaurant kitchen and looked around. Live lobsters wiggled in tanks while others boiled in pots. "Lobster special, huh?" Helga grinned slyly. "I've got a real special lobster for you, Toots." As a waiter plopped a cooked lobster into a tray and covered it, Helga reached into the tank and came up with a snapping live one. She slipped it under the lid of the serving dish as the waiter walked outside to Arnold and Summer's table. Helga snuck out the door after him, hiding behind a large bush. When the waiter lifted the lid, the lobster immediately grabbed tightly onto Summer's hair with both claws. The sound of Summer's terrified scream was music to Helga's ears. But even this couldn't ruin Arnold and Summer's day. That afternoon, they were still together, lying side by side on beach blankets in the sun. "Isn't this amazing, Arnold?" Summer said, smiling. "Just you and me hanging out together." "Yeah." Arnold glanced shyly at Summer. "And even though some crazy things happened, I'm still really glad I met you, Summer." "Oh, me too, Arnold. Me too." "You're just so much nicer than the girls at my school." Arnold took a deep breath and then said, "And well, the truth is, I really like you a lot." Summer smiled back. "And I really like you, Arnold. I feel like we have something special." Summer took Arnold's hand and held it. "This may sound silly, but I've never felt so comfortable with a boy before." "I wouldn't get too comfortable, sweetheart," muttered Helga as she crouched behind a nearby lifeguard stand, watching them intently. Arnold and Summer both lay face down on their beach blankets, dozing in the sun. Helga tiptoed over to them and scattered pieces of bread from a sack all around the edges of the blanket. Then she dashed back behind the lifeguard stand and waited. Within moments, dozens of hungry seagulls began to swarm and screech over the scattered bread. Arnold and Summer jumped up in horror as the birds swooped and squawked at them. "Eek! Help! Get 'em off of me!" Summer shrieked as they ran for cover by the lifeguards' kayaks. They gasped for breath for a moment. "Are you okay?" Arnold said. Then he heard hysterical laughter coming from somewhere behind the lifeguard station. Helga was rolling on the sand, cackling to herself. "Ha! This is the best one yet. I mean, sure, the lobster and the raft were pretty funny, but this one takes the cake." Arnold tapped her on the shoulder. "Helga, I heard everything you just said." Helga stopped laughing abruptly. "Huh? You did?" "Yeah. So if you're through being mean to me and Summer for no reason at all, I'd really appreciate if you take your own advice and just stay out of my way. For good." He walked away, leaving Helga dazed and crushed. Summer walked up to Arnold. "Who was that?" she asked. "Just one of those girls from my school I was telling you about," Arnold said. To be continued.